Okay. Okay, and you can see the screen, then I can start. Just the last one. You can see the screen. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chantal. So welcome to my Business Mastery webinar. And I really do hope that this adds a lot of value to you tonight. If nothing goes wrong, I will make available the recording afterwards. So watch out for my email after this. So my name is Rowan Karulis, and this is my masterclass on how to turn your ideas into profits. So either if you have an idea or if you have a current business or if you are in a sales environment. So just a disclaimer, this is not financial advice because I can only give advice if I take your personal situation into account. So just some house rules. Rule number one is please have an open mind because you'll be learning, I hope, learning things you haven't heard before, and it might be a shock to your system. Have fun, please have fun. You may interact, you may ask questions while we're busy, and also ask questions in the chat because rule number 4 is I will stay until I've answered all and everybody's questions. I am testing the stream on YouTube as well, but I might not be able to answer or initially answer see the questions, but at the end I'll just check if there's any questions on YouTube because I'm just testing to see how that works as well. So just an outline of what I'll be discussing tonight. I'll start with my background, and then part 1 will be why do businesses fail? Part 2 will be how do we start or grow a successful business? And part 3, I will show you how I made a 3,333% growth on a business venture. And part 4 will be our question and answer session. So just some background, I have more than 10 years of experience with Old Mutual and sales. And my passion is to help people make the best choices financially. And I can promise you, if you apply what I teach to you today, you will be better able to provide for yourself and for your family and even leave a legacy if that is one of your goals. So just my business background. I started when I was at school when I realized that mice, I think it was one of my teachers that said mice have a way of quickly multiplying. And I thought maybe that was a good idea if I sell mice because they breed so quickly. And a funny story, what happened is one of my mice, or one of the mouse that I have, it bit through the box because I kept him in the shoebox and I had to look for him in the hostel. And when I found him, I decided, but I don't have a cage and this is going to be too much effort. And so I ditched that business idea. I'm also a magician, so I've done a couple of shows for people. So I thought that maybe I can go that route, but I still have that as an interest, if we can call it a passion. And then I bought and sold stuff on Gumtree. I have joined a couple of multi-level marketing companies. I tried my best at being a fitness trainer, and then I started giving advice, and I'm an Old Mutual advisor currently, and I also invest in property, and that is also having a business. And I also have an email marketing and a business consulting business. So the problem is the following. The statistics show that the failure rate for new startups is currently 90%. So that means only 1 out of 10 businesses will succeed. Of that 1 out of 10, only 10% of the businesses don't survive that first year, or 10% of new businesses don't even survive that first year. And 22% of startups fail because they don't have a sound marketing strategy. And I want to ask you the question, can you guess what the biggest reason for the failure of a business is? Do you think it's a lack of capital, equipment? Do you think it's not getting clients? Do you think it's the price of the products or service, or do you maybe perhaps think it's other people not coming to the party? What do you believe is the biggest reason that businesses fail? Anybody? Anybody want to take a guess? If not, then I'll give you the answer. Startup capital. Thank you. Thank you, Chantel. And I like when you interact because then I'll be providing more value. So the biggest reason why businesses fail is not any of those that I've mentioned, but it's the reason businesses fail is because a lack of know-how or a lack of skills on the part of the owner. So I'll show you in a couple of slides. I'll touch on how you can start a business without any capital, or how you can start a business without taking any risks, without any loan, without any financial assistance from anybody or yourself. I'll show you how. But the biggest reason businesses fail is because the owner does not have the correct skills or the correct competencies. So where it began for me and where I started to realize is when I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. And after I read that book, I realized I need to find me a mentor, and I got a person by the name of Hannes Dreyer, who started to guide and teach and also mentor me in the ways of investing and business. So what I've realized, because of the couple of mistakes in businesses I've had and because of the mentoring that I've had, I realized there's a couple of mistakes that people make. Mistake number one is you should not buy a business. So I'm in the financial industry and I see it quite often, or I hear stories of retirees, people going on pension, making the mistake of investing their pension in a business. Now you must remember, you need to have the skills to run a successful business. You cannot expect to know all the risks if you buy something somebody else has created. When the business owner teaches you how to run a business and you work alongside him or her, that is the only way where purchasing a business can be successful. Because what happens, I've seen retirees take their pension and purchase a Pick and Pay franchise, for instance. That person was, let's make the assumption he was a teacher or principal his whole life. He does not know a thing about marketing, about staff management, about salaries, about payroll, about products. So after a couple of years, you'll see that that business, because he keeps throwing money into the business, you'll see that that business will start failing. And the problem is not the business itself, but it's because the owner does not have the competencies. Because you require a competency on the various levels to have a successful business. And this is also the reason why I advocate to start the business you want now. Start this business today because you need to start learning these competencies and start applying and gaining the experience in order to, when you are in that position, when you want to retire or when you want to fire your boss, where you can because you have the competencies. Mistake number two that I see people make is that they use their business income for personal use. Your business income is not for your personal use. The reason is you delay the growth. You delay actually an exponential growth if you use your business income for personal use. Your business income needs to be used to grow your business. Now, a tip that I can give those of you, because some of us are self-employed. So if you are self-employed or if your income is commission-based, you need to separate your business income from your salary. And the way to do that is open two bank accounts and pay yourself a salary from that income. Because some months you might have a very good month. In that case, you pay yourself a salary of, say, 10,000 Rand. If you have a lesser good month, you can always supplement your salary by the other months that you profited by. So if you only received 5,000 for the month, you can add another 5,000 from the previous month. And that way you keep your salary consistent and you use that extra money to grow your business. You have to keep that money, your business money, within the formula. And I'll show you the formula in a bit. And you keep it there until you have reached your goal, because that is how you grow exponentially. Mistake number 3, people are not following a system. Now, starting a business is a recipe. If you follow the correct recipe for starting a business, for marketing, for managing staff, the end result will always be the same. So if you create that system and if you can automate it, you can also teach somebody else to do it. And all of a sudden, you free up your time and you can spend your time growing the business or spending time with family or going on holiday, whatever the case. So that is why it's important to have a system, because a system allows you to teach it to somebody else. You don't need to appoint somebody with a high degree or with a master's degree, because you can just teach him or her the system, and if they apply the system, you will have the exact same results. So we need to start using and creating systems for our business. So you need to follow a blueprint or a system to get the best results. Now, the two most valuable skills, those were 3 mistakes, but the 2 most valuable skills you can learn for success in business is identity goals and the wealth creator strategy. And I'm going to explain it to you and why this is so important when starting a business or if you want to become successful or grow your business. Now, Earl Nightingale said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Sorry. But if we put what Earl Nightingale says differently, I want you to remember what he says. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Earl Nightingale is telling us that failure, the opposite is not tracking your progress. So if you're not tracking your progress, you're a failure according to Earl Nightingale. Or if you're tracking your progress, but you're tracking progress of something that's not meaningful, then you are also a failure according to Earl Nightingale. So if you want to be successful, and why I hammer on the identity goal is because the identity goal will help you become successful not only in business, but also in your personal life. But what is this identity goal, Rowan? So that is the term that I created. But what an identity goal is, it's a goal that is meaningful. So there's a science to setting a goal that's meaningful. You need to do and you need to follow a certain recipe in order to know that you have set this identity goal. It needs to be measurable. Your identity goal needs to have a due date and you need to measure it consistently, because remember what Earl Nightingale said? There's a progressive realization that needs to happen, or you need to measure your progress. It also creates systems that guides you and aligns you with your purpose. That is also another thing that the identity goal does, because it's a goal that focuses on who you need to become. Hey, that is what identity goal is. Now, most people think that we need to have certain things, for instance, money or love or time, because if we have those things, then we can finally do what we really want. Then we can start a business. Then we can nurture a relationship. Then we can exercise. And only after that, we can be successful, or we can be in love, or we can be healthy. But the truth is actually, it works the other way around. You need to be the person that can, if you are that person, then you will of course do the things that you need to do, and then you will have the things that a successful person has. So you need to realize you need to become. If you become, you will do, and if you do, you will have. Be, do, have is the principle. For instance, if we become a fitness enthusiast, then we will do what a fitness enthusiast does, and then we will have health, fitness, etc. It's important to distinguish that there's a big difference between becoming a certain person, then having certain things and hoping to become a certain person, or having things or trying to do stuff in order to become this person. Now, that is the reason why I called this goal an identity goal, because this goal needs to focus on who you need to become. Most goals focus on the outcome, on the have portion. And little goals focus on the who we need to become, because your chances are very slim of achieving anything in life if you don't focus on who you need to become. And this is why an identity goal teaches you how to become this person that can achieve your goal. Now, what is the second principle and the second strategy? This is the wealth creator strategy. And this way, you can start a business without using any money. So, the wealth creator strategy is the intelligent use of limited resources to go from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest possible time with the least amount of risk. So that is what the wealth creator strategy is. It means that the resources that each and every one of us has, and each of us has different resources, we need to use that intelligently. And if we can, that will enable us to go from where we are to where we want to be in the shortest possible time, and even with no risk if you know how to structure it properly. So the wealth creator strategy is formulated from this formula, the formula for riches. Now, this formula looks very complicated, but I want to simple it down for you to explain how you need to apply this formula within any area of your life. And if you apply this in your life, this formula, you can be certain that you are on the right track or course to become successful. So the formula states the first symbol, that's an infinity symbol. There needs to be a desire to become wealthy. This can also be stated there needs to be an intent or there needs to be an identity goal. You need to want to do this and you need to have that desire. It needs to be intentful or, as I said, an identity goal. If you don't want, most of you know, if somebody does not want to be helped, they won't. You cannot help them. Now, the same with the formula for riches. If you do not want a business, you won't have a business. If you do not want to become successful, if you don't want to become rich, if you don't want to become healthy, the chances are 100% that you won't achieve it. So you need a desire. Then the S means you need a surplus, right? But what people don't know is that a surplus can be created. A surplus means you either need extra money or you need extra time or you need extra energy, but you'll require a surplus. If you don't have the finances, you can create the finances. So it's not required to have 1,000 rand, 1,000,000 rand to start a business. You just need to be able to create a surplus. Then you need to take action. Without action, nothing is going to happen. So this is not a quick rich scheme. I'm trying to teach you what needs to happen in order for you to become successful. You need to take action. And then you need to take the responsibility, and that is what the RE is for, to manage your growth and your risk. So there will be growth and there will be risk, either in investments or in business, and you need to manage that. You need to manage your growth up and your risk down. Then, to close the brackets, then you need to take the time and the personal effort to make this work. Now, with the personal effort, the M, you can also use technology to increase your productivity or your outcome of this formula. So it's a very intensive, maybe difficult formula to understand, but I'm going to simple it down more. So the formula for riches can be explained by asking yourself these three questions. And I want you to write it down or to take a note whenever you are in a situation and you are uncertain of what to do. Even if you are certain of what to do, ask yourself these three questions before you go ahead. Right? Is it possible or legal? Can I make it happen? And do I have control over it happening? So you always have to ensure that you answer each one of these questions with a yes. If each one of them were answered with a yes, then you can go ahead. And we will do two examples in the next slide. But to simplify the calculation or the formula a bit more, if we take it from left to right, it says your intent or your identity goal will equal your focus. So whatever you want to achieve, you will be required to focus on that. You'll need to put in time and personal effort. So whatever you intend to achieve, you need to focus on that. But it also works the other way around, from right to left. Whatever you focus on will provide you with results. So if you focus on running each and every day, you will start seeing results. So let's take two examples of how you determine if a venture is good for you or not. So this is the first step in evaluating a business or a new venture. So you ask yourself, is it possible? So let's start starting a business or buying a property as an investment as a example. Is it possible or legal to start a business or to buy a property as an investment? Yes, it is possible. It is legal. Can I make it happen? Yes, you can start a business. You can decide how much you start the business with, how much the products cost. The same with a property. You decide what property you purchase, what value you purchase the property in. If you invest, you determine what the rent is. So there's control over this. Do I have control over it? Yes, you have control over your business, and yes, you have control over your property. So you've answered all these with a yes. That means you can go ahead with that venture. Also, another thing, now that I think of it, when you start a business with a partner, be very careful, because if it's a 50-50% shareholder, normally egos comes into play, and you don't have that full control. The question number three. So there's always problems that can happen when you start a business 50-50 with a partner. Can you trade Forex and make that successful? Is it possible to trade Forex? And is it legal? Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's legal. Can I make it happen? Yes, you could most likely make trades happen. Do I have control over the trades? You don't have control over the price that you sell Forex investments or currencies in. And because you don't have control, because anything can happen in the market, and because you'll answer no to the final question, I wouldn't suggest you go ahead with trading Forex. So, with any endeavor, if anybody comes to you and they give you this scenario and you need to invest and you need to do this, please write these questions down, remember them, ask them quietly in your head. If it's yes to all of them, then go ahead. Just a quick little story about my parents. It was a couple of years ago, probably a lot of years ago, to 10, maybe more, 15 years ago, where there was this venture where you could purchase a property, you invest, and then you purchase this property, and all the dividends you'll get back. I'm not exactly sure how it worked, but I told my parents about these questions and I told them, don't go ahead with this venture. And it was here in the Boland area, it was a huge thing. And a lot of teachers started to invest in it and they lost a lot of money because they believed they could make money out of this venture. But if they just applied these three questions, and because I could teach my parents these three questions, I saved them a lot of heartache and money. So please remember this and apply this to any endeavor that you want to do in the future. So let me apply this formula for riches a bit more. And the formula states that you need to minimize your risk. That's why it's on the bottom here. You need to minimize your risk. So I believe that you shouldn't quit your job to start a business, but you should start a business to quit your job, because it's very risky if you don't have the competency to to believe that you can leave your job today and tomorrow you can start a successful business. It's much easier to start that successful business today, learn the competencies, and once you are competent, then you can go ahead and quit your job. Warren Buffett, he also says risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. So if you quit your job and you start this business tomorrow, there's a lot of risk involved and you won't be knowing what you're doing. So you need to understand what you let yourself into before you go into an endeavor like quitting your job to start a business. So now I have a couple of calculations for you to show you how you can fire your boss, say in the next 5 years, because it's possible. But if you don't understand the principles and if you don't measure, then you'll see how you're not sure if you are able to fire your boss in the next 5 years. So Ruth White is 30 years old and she's frustrated with the ever rising cost of living and she's fed up of living paycheck to paycheck. So Ruth decided she wants to fire her boss in 5 years' time and then she'll spend her free time doing what she wants. Her income goals are she wants 30,000 Rand and she wants to retire in 5 years' time. And let me show you the calculation. And this is going to be quite interesting, I hope. It's not this one, it's this one. You can see the screen. Everybody can see the spreadsheet. Just by a show of hands, maybe a reaction, thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Chantel. Appreciate it. So Ruth wants an income of 30,000 Rand. That is her intent. We need to take into account the tax that she'll have to pay, and that will be 25%. And she's currently 30 years of age. She wants to fire her boss when she's 35 in 5 years' time, but she could live possibly till she's 80 years old. That means she has 5 years, and she needs to plan for 45 years. So she needs to plan for the next 45 years or she needs to be ready for 45 years worth of income, but she has only 5 years to prepare to get ready for that. So let's take into account a 6% inflation rate. If she wants to earn 30,000 Rand today, she needs to earn 40,000 Rand today because she's going to pay 25% tax, and then she'll be sitting with 30,000 Rand. Everybody still with me? If you do miss me, just tell me to restart or to go back. So Ruth needs to earn 40,000 Rand. Then she'll pay a tax of 25%, and then she'll have the income that she so requires. But because of inflation, within 5 years' time, she requires 53,000 Rand income. Now, if you do this the normal way, if you do it the normal way and you go and invest in a policy or in a bank, then and that growth that you receive is 12%, you'll need to save, or Ruth will need to save 353,000 Rand, 934 Rand. So Ruth does not earn this amount. So Ruth won't be able to fire her boss on the normal way within 5 years' time. But there's another way. And the other way is by taking the responsibility. And if you take the responsibility, the calculation shows as follows. So Ruth has 1,000 Rand surplus, extra money each and every month. Remember the formula? You need to have a surplus. So Ruth has a surplus of 1,000 Rand per month. If we determine the capital that she needs today, if she has a 4.8 million capital today, and she invests that with a yield of 10%. So say Ruth purchases a property and she rents it out with a yield of 10%, she'll have an income of 480,000 Rand per annum, which equals the 40,000 Rand before tax. But Ruth does not have this 4.8 million today because she's planning for 5 years' time. So she'll need within 5 years 6.4 million. And if she wants 6.4 million within 5 years' time, but she only has 1,000 today, she'll need to grow her business or her investment by 140%. So if she can gain a growth of 140%, then she'll be able to fire her boss within 5 years' time. If Ruth can get a percentage higher than this growth, then she'll either fire her boss sooner or she'll earn a bigger income. So this is a very important calculation that we need to do for ourselves because we need to determine, and this is where the identity goal comes in. You need to understand what your goal is and what you need to achieve in order to achieve what you want ultimately. Because if you know that your growth rate needs to be 140%. You won't invest. Sorry, I think my sound disconnected. If you know that your growth on your investment needs to be 140% or on your business, you won't do anything that is below the 140% because it's not going to take you to the place where you want to be, and that is to fire your boss within 5 years' time. And I hope you get what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to show you how I got a 3000% growth shortly. So it is possible to get 140% growth, but you need to be able to calculate and then you need to adjust accordingly. So this is how I got a 3,330% growth. So what the situation entailed, I had this vehicle and the price of this vehicle was 70,000 Rand. And I sold it for 90,000 Rand. But I didn't pay the 70,000 Rand upfront. I only paid for the insurance because I realized the risk was going to kill me. So if something happens and this vehicle was in an accident, I would have lost this whole investment. So I just paid 600 Rand insurance. But then I sold this vehicle for 90,000 Rand and I made a 20,000 Rand profit. Because my expense was only 600 Rand, I received a growth of 333,000 Rand. 3,333%. That is the growth that I had on a 600 Rand and the growth that I made. So if this was Ruth White, if Ruth had this vehicle and she saw this opportunity to sell this vehicle and she did the calculation, she would know that this vehicle would put her closer to fire her boss because that was the growth, because it's bigger than the growth that she needs to have in order to fire her boss in 5 years' time. I hope you understand the calculations that I tried to show you. Yeah, please let me know if you want me to redo them or go a bit deeper in them. So how do you grow your business? How do you grow your business? So there's only 3 ways you can grow your business. You can get more customers, and this is anybody can apply this to their business. You either get more customers or you increase your price or you increase the frequency of purchase. So let me show you how this impacts a business. But these are the only 3 ways you can increase or grow your business. So if you focus on these 3 and you improve these 3, your business will increase. So let me show you another calculation. You can see the new spreadsheet. Thumbs up. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is it Hendrix? If there's a question, you can let me know in the chat box. I see your hand is raised. I'll leave also questions for at the end. Thank you. Thank you, Chantal. Okay. So let's assume you have 20 customers. The price of your service or your product is 1,000 Rand. And currently the frequency of purchase is only one purchase that is made. So that means you have a 20,000 Rand income or profit that you've made. So there's a 20,000 Rand profit. But if I can teach you, I can show you that you can only, if there's only a increase of 30% on these strategies, if I can give you an increase of 30% on each one, total customers, the price, and the frequency, that automatically doubles, even more than doubles your profit or your income. So if we increase this by 30%, if I can show you how to increase your total customers, your price, your frequency with 30%, only 6 more customers, only a 300 Rand extra in price, only a 0.3 frequency purchased more. The new total profit or income is 43,000 just by a 30% increase in total customers, price, and frequency. So it's important, if you want to grow your business, you need to focus on growing these 3 things. Also, another tip that I can give you, because you are interacting, is that price is not necessarily just price. It means you need to add more value to your clients. If you add more value, then you can increase your price. Automatically, the price will increase if you add more value. So that is how you increase your price, add more value, and that way you can have a bigger income or profit at the end of the month, year, or even day. Let's go on. So the summary. The summary is you need, and let me just see, because I forgot I wanted to show you, and maybe I'll leave that the video. So just as a summary, whatever I explained for those who missed, or for those who, just a recap of tonight's session. So you need an identity goal. Don't start a business aimlessly. You can see with Ruth White's calculation, if you have an identity goal, if you know where you are going or where you need to aim to, then you can redirect yourself. Ruth would have seen that that vehicle is going to take her closer to firing a boss. So that's why she could go ahead. If that vehicle was only going to give her 50% growth, although 50% could be seen as good, it's not going to assist Ruth to get where she wants to be. So you need to have an identity goal and you need to be able to calculate what growth I need in order to get to where I want to be. Then you need to start building your business now because you need to gain the competencies. Because it's in the competencies that the business and the successful businesses are. It's not in the money you put in, it's not in the fancy business. It's about learning how this business operates and how you can improve on these three things. And the final thing is invest in yourself because you need to decrease your risk. According to the formula for riches, decrease your risk by knowing what you are doing. If I can have that slide again of Warren Buffett. The risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. So invest in yourself so you understand or you can learn from somebody else's mistakes in order to skyrocket your business and your growth so you don't make the same mistakes that somebody else has. So the problems I faced in starting a business and the reason why I created those calculators because I realized there's value in knowing the calculations. So I created those calculators to teach you, and not only the calculators, but I'm willing to teach anybody how to determine what their personal financial freedom growth rate is. And also that grow your business calculator, I can also show you how your business can be impacted by improving those three. I also created this identity goal course where it's easy to follow step by step to create your own identity goal. And I will teach you how to implement a system that will help you become successful and become the best that you can be. But these systems and strategies is not only going to help you achieve your goal, they'll also help you towards financial freedom. It also involves time management and strategies how to help you get things done because I realized we are normally procrastinators and it's each and every one of us. So we need to have strategies in place in order to get things done. I also have a concept. So these first two I have, there's calculators and spreadsheets, and I'm going to provide them to you, and the identity goal course, and I'll provide that to you. The business mastery is currently a concept. So what I would like to do, and I want to explain, I would like to assist the most people possible to start their own business. But because I don't have this course yet, I want to ask you guys if you would be willing to. I will be teaching you the following. Let me first tell you what I'll be teaching. And this is what my thought is, but it might change along the way. So I want to teach you how to evaluate your current business or business idea. I want to teach you how to start your business with 0 Rand, or how to start a business or even grow a business with 0 Rand. I want to teach you how to get more clients. I want to teach you how to grow your business. And I want to teach you how to manage people for success. And I want to teach you how to implement systems for growth within your business. Now, this might change along the way because I want some people that are interested in this concept to guide me and tell me, Rowan, we want to know this. We don't need to know how to get more clients, but we want to know marketing, for instance. And that's why it's only a concept at present, because I want you to guide me in order to teach you what you want to know. So it's tailored to you and not to what I think is important. Then, what I also provide, I have weekly webinars just like this, where I answer questions. We discuss various strategies, productivity, time management, financial mindset, goal setting. There's a lot of things that we discuss, and we also assist each other with questions, and we help each other, whatever the problem is. And it provides weekly motivation. That is also currently in place, what I have. But this is not for everybody. So this is only going to be for those who would like to learn how to start a business successfully and who would like to build an established business. Or if you want to improve or expand in your business. Or if you would like to leave this as a legacy for your children. Or if you would like to learn how to reach more clients and even attract clients. And if you are into developing yourself. Right? If this is you, then this course and these courses are for you. This courses is not a get rich quick scheme. So it's not for those if you are happy with working for the rest of your life. This is really not for you. And if you don't feel like you want to fire your boss, please, this is not for you. I hope I provided value still to everybody tonight, but this is not for you. And if you cannot have at least, I want to say 20 minutes a day, because I'll be teaching you, I'll be asking questions, and you'll need to implement it. If you don't have at least 20 minutes a day, let's say an hour a week, uh, if you want to do it that way, then this is also not going to work for you. So you must be willing also to learn and to ask, because I'm going to assist you the best that I can. Now, normally with a private school, and I've researched this, the highest costing private school, maybe next year this is going to be higher, is 396,000 Rand per annum. But the strange thing is to me, they don't teach you what I've taught you tonight. Varsities, they don't teach you what I've taught you tonight. Mostly the professors, and I have no quibble and I have no problem with people studying and going for degrees, but the professors that teach you marketing a lot of times haven't even started a business. So they don't teach you what I've taught you most likely tonight. But Albert Einstein, he said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So my special offer for you tonight. So for everybody that is here, I am willing to give a lot of stuff for free. So I'm going to provide you with that ebook that I spoke about. There'll be a consultation and we can discuss your business. You can throw things by me and we can see how we can improve your business. You will be given access to the Identity Goals course, the Growth Calculator, and the Business Mastery Introduction course. And it's totally for free. I'm not going to charge you a cent. I am going to ask you just to reply either to the email, or you can send Hester a message, or you can just let me know in the chat, because I want people to commit. So if you are committed and if you want this for free, I will be willing to do so. That is the only thing. And the other thing is, because the business mastery is going to be created, you'll be assisting me and we'll have sessions where we see in which way we take the course. If you are interested in something, so the level 1, it's just like a schooling level. If you are just starting out, level 1 is perfect. But if you would like to know more, and if you are willing to learn the deeper stuff within business and how to grow your business, I have another special offer, and it's only for today as well, that I'll provide you with also the book, also a consultation, also the Identity Goals course, the Growth Calculator. But that business mastery course will have a beginner one and an advanced. So these are for the people that are really willing to take their business to the next level, where we go through the starting point, but also more advanced strategies. And you'll also be invited to the exclusive weekly webinar. And yeah, maybe we'll start again from next year. Maybe there'll still be one before the holidays, but I normally send out an email. So you'll also be invited to that. Then there's a higher level, and these are for those people who are interested in for us to create certain things for them. If you want us to create a personalized social media and a web page, so you'll also receive all the other goodies that all the others received. You'll have longer 2-3 consultations. I'll have more consultations, but I'll also be building these things myself, and that's why the price is higher. If you don't have the time or you don't have the want to do it yourself, so the first two you'll be learning how to do it yourself. The three you can learn to do it yourself, but we'll also be providing and doing it for you. We'll do an audit of your business, audit of your um, social media. We'll create things like a funnel and a web page, but we can discuss that in depth when we have a conversation. And for the last level is just for people who are established currently and they want us to manage their business and their marketing on a month to month basis. So we set up your entire business system for the year. We'll do things like a monthly newsletter for you, set up your Facebook page, design ads and run ads for you, personalize your web page, the whole caboodle. We'll give you the whole package. Normally we charge 29,000 rand, and for today either 1,000 rand per month, because I know it's a lot to give up front. But if you are willing to give us up front, we'll give you quite a discount and we'll provide it for the whole year. So you don't have to pay for any website for the whole year. We'll do run and everything for you. Then it's 9,999 rand. So action steps is we will send you a thank you email with all the free goodies. Please reply with let's go if you are interested, or you can contact Hester or myself for more information. You can also, there'll be a link. You can also purchase any of the levels via the link that we provide you in the email. And the offer will only be standing until the end of this month. So that is my story for tonight. I hope that I have added immense value to you tonight, and you can be free to ask me any question or to tell me, Rowan, it wasn't valuable. I need to improve on this. This was not nice. Whatever you may go ahead. I'll answer all questions. I'll sit here till all questions are done. Almost an hour. So our time was quite well managed. I will be making a recording available, and if there's no problems, I'll also be sending it out. You'll receive it by tomorrow. Was it valuable? By show of hands, maybe? Nobody? By reactions? Thank you, Chantel. I appreciate your comment. I do appreciate. I I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I do this for you, and I would like, and I hope I added immense value to you tonight, because that is what I believe why we are here for. We need to grow in order to add value to other people. So there's still more chat, and I'll answer each and every question, and then I'll say good night. But thank you. I do appreciate. You could have been somewhere else watching Netflix, but you decided to invest in yourself, and I do appreciate. And that's why I hope I added a lot of value, more than Netflix would have. Maybe. I hope so. So like just thinking a thought for those who are willing to take the final package. We can even host webinars like this for your clients if you're not up to it, depending on the industry, because I know quite a bit about property. I can also have sessions like this on property. Thank you, Chantel. Please do. Please do. Most definitely more than Netflix. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Chantel. I do appreciate your kind words. So be on the lookout for more sessions like this, but I'm still going to say, because people are typing, if you want me to show you something else, I was going to show you McDonald's, but it slipped my mind. I was going to show you why systems are so important. Now, McDonald's, a lot of people think McDonald's are so successful because of their burgers, but it's because of the systems that McDonald's has in place. McDonald's doesn't make the best burger, but they have systems in place. And I wanted to show you that video, but I'm also afraid I might be demonetized on YouTube because I'm making a recording alive also. Let me see, maybe there's questions on YouTube. I forgot. Let me just check there. Let me check. No, there's no questions here. Nobody has watched on YouTube. I have a YouTube, I have a Facebook, I have a TikTok. I will be utilizing them soon, so you can be free to go and check there as well. There's no YouTube comments, so that's fine. Especially I'm in property. So how do I control my sales product? I have to wait for people to contact me. Yes, that's one way, Chantal. Or what you can do is provide clients with value. So maybe I can show you, I'm going to show you how I provide value to my clients so that when there's something that needs to be done, that I'm top of mind. I want to show you, Chantal, I think this might be useful for you. Let me see if I can find that spreadsheet for you. Just give me a second. I want to show you how you can get more clients in the property game. Chantal, can you see my screen? Can you? Okay, let me just, I can also open mics if you want me, if you want to speak. I just, when I do the presentation, I just like to have control. So if you want to speak, you can also ask. Okay, I think let's open Esther's mic. There we go. So let me show you just a simple way of how I would, what I would do in your case, Chantal, something that I would do. So you need to show people that are leads or interested that you have a certain value that other agents might not have. So this is one way that I would do it. Right, let me just delete this because I want to show you a calculation I normally show people that wants to buy property. So this is some of the things they don't teach us in school as well. So let's make this R1 million property. R1 million property, and let's say, I'm not sure what the interest rate is. I think, let's say the interest rate that this person has is 12.5%. And you can see my screen, the property loan amount screen, just before I continue. Okay, so I have R1 million property and the interest rate is 12.5%, and my term in years that I need to pay this off in is 30 years. So this is also a tip for new home buyers. So just think about what I explained, Chantal, and if this would motivate you to choose me over another person when doing a property deal. So if you purchase a property normally, and if you purchase the property with these variables, R1 million property with 12.5% interest and a 30-year term, then your total repayment of that property is 3.8 million, right? So if I can show you by just structuring your deal differently, or I'm the agent that I'm going to show you, Chantal, how you can save more than 200,000 Rand without working harder by just structuring this deal because you are using me as your agent. Did you know that if you pay your first installment on the first day of transfer, then you save approximately, I think it's more than 200,000 Rand in interest. So let's make an immediate payment, Chantel. All I'm going to ask you is to save one payment that you pay on the day, and I'll let you know when the property is transferred. So you use that savings on the date of transfer. So you make an immediate payment. The rest of the payments you make each and every month. If I can show you how to do that, all of a sudden you save 360,000 Rand in interest, and you also pay off your bond in 327 months, and that equals you save 2.75 years on your property. So that is one of the ways that you can use to show people that you are the expert. And when purchasing a property, the most likely decision will be to use you instead of a different agent, because and this is how you increase your value, and this is how you gain more clients by adding this type of value to the client. So this is what I would do if I was in your shoes, something that I would implement. I hope that it teaches everybody something, and I hope you learn something, because I believe that a client would most likely trust me after I've showed him this and I teach him how to implement this than the next person that just sells the property to him. But this is the type of thing that we'll do when we do the final package. We'll start implementing these type of strategies. I can also show you how to do the calculation on your property to see what growth the property. Yes, I can teach you these type of things. This is my speciality. I can also show you the growth on the property, because people forget when you're doing an investment, it's the exact same as a property. So with a property, you have expenses, that's money flowing out, and then you have income. You have the capital growing, and you have rental income, and in some cases, tax rebates. So because there's an inflow of money and because there's an outflow of money, you can calculate the growth on your property, not the capital growth, the growth on the investment of a property. And some people would benefit by knowing what the growth on their investment is and not just what the capital growth of a property is. So there's a lot of things you can do to add more value to your clients. You and Esther are my new best friends. Well, message. Please do. Please do. I hope I learned everybody something new. If you want to purchase a house, I'm actually saying either speak to me or you can speak to Chantel now, because I'll be teaching her these things. See people chatting. And my rule 4 is I'm going to stay until each and everybody has been answered. You should have seen my previous session. I had a lot of these spreadsheets and calculations. I did a session on paying off all your debt. So I have a session where I can show you how to pay off all your debt. That is also a thing you can add to your clients to add more value. Thank you so much. Saying good night. Good night. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Heinrich. Have a good evening. Thank you. It doesn't seem there's any more questions. I do appreciate each and everybody that was here tonight. Watch out for my email and for future sessions like this. So I hope you have a very, very nice weekend. And then I'll speak to you till the next time. Take care. Thank you, everybody. I'm saying good night.